Alright, welcome. So today we have Apollo here, and now I have already done a build video for him about 2 months ago, so it's kind of due for an update, and you can also still use that build for him that I did 2 months ago. I believe back then Throne Dagger and Golden Bow still had crit, and the power levels were much different kind of like compared to now. So just kind of want to do an updated one, as well as this build I will be covering in this video. You can apply it to other hunters if you want to. It should work just fine. So I won't be covering his abilities. I've already done that. His abilities haven't really changed since then. I believe the mana cost for his ultimate has been reduced since then, and that's about it. So let's get into it. Now I do have Golden Bow here. Obviously you don't need to pick it up for game modes like Arena, where clearing minions isn't that important, and where you already have a mage right next to you. So this for Golden Bow, you just pretty much just pick this up for Conquest and maybe Siege to help you out when you're in a laning phase, ideally. Now, as of recently, the Throne Dagger has been nerfed as far as damage-wise, so you might not want to start this on all your hunters. Obviously, you still need it on hunters that have trouble clearing with their abilities, like Apollo himself, where his first ability does like absolutely no damage. So Throne Dagger is still good. Now, with nerfing the damage on Throne Dagger and keeping Golden Bow still around 50, I just feel like it makes it that much more important to go back when you can and finish this into Golden Bow for the huge power spike. I mean, 15 up to 50, that's huge. Next, we have Warrior Tabby here. Now, there's a good reason why I have Warrior Tabby and not Ninja Tabby. For one, this build is going to include a lot of attack speed, and with Apollo specifically, you don't want to have too many attack speed items, since when you do proc your passive, it grants you 100% extra attack speed for your next 5 auto attacks, so you don't want to make your passive useless where you're just overcapping just all the time. So just be aware of that. The cap for attack speed is 2.5. Just keep that in mind. So you got Warrior Tabby here. Next, we have Soul Eater. Now, I've been a big fan of Soul Eater for a long time now, and just as of recently when the DreamHack tournament happened, a lot of the pro hunters were starting to pick up Soul Eater, which is huge. I love this. I wanted to get more known to the entire Smite community. Really love this item. So if you're not familiar with what it does, basically it grants you tons of attack speed and lifesteal. Now it is also a stacking item, but it's only 20 stacks. And you get these stacks obviously just by killing enemies. So once you have all 20 stacks, it grants you a total of 10% extra lifesteal on top of the 20 it already gives you, and 10% more movement speed. So from this 10% extra movement speed, and then your boots, which is 18%, and as long as you have Golden Bow an additional 8%, you have a lot of movement speed, so it allows you to rotate really fast and just strafe a lot easier and be really slippery. As well as the big thing about this item is once you drop below 25% health, it grants you up to 30% of your maximum health if you have all 20 stacks. Now that is a huge burst of HP. I'm sure they're probably going to nerf this in the future, but for now, take advantage of this item. The heal back, as long as you have all 20 stacks, it's pretty much stronger than the meditation. And what I like about this compared to the Aussie, for one, is not too much more expensive, and as well as when you proc Aussie, you still need to hit something to get your life back. With Soul Eater, you don't have to hit anything. It just grants you 30% of your life back instantly. So, a really strong item. If you don't know about it, I highly recommend it to pick it up on your hunters, maybe assassins too. Next, we do have Kins here just to spike up your power again, since obviously the Soul Eater provides you with no power. It does grant you attack speed, but as well as this passive is just so strong, you can't really skip this passive. Dealing 4% of the target's maximum health per hit, it's just huge. Next, we do have Penetration. So Penetration is really key to doing damage. Obviously, it's not the most important item if you're just trying to fight, squishy targets, but not all the time can you only focus on squishy targets, and you will need Pen at some point. So Titan's Bane is huge just to ensure that you can shred through any of all protections, as well as this Titan's Bane is actually really good against structures like towers and phoenixes and fire giants. So it's really good for Apollo, you get split push with ease, just having Titan's Bane and just autoing the tower down and using your ultimate to just fly away. So next, we have this empty item slot here. Now this is where you can change up your build a little bit. Now, since it's your 6th item slot, the game is probably ending soon, and as long as you're on the winning side, you are sieging the enemy Phoenix. Maybe they're Titan, maybe they're towers. So when you're sieging an enemy and they're all grouped up, it allows you to easily proc the oboe, and it just it triggers a chain lightning effect where it deals damage to anything around it. So this allows you to really have a good presence of just spread damage, and so that way you're not only hitting one target, you're pretty much hitting everybody near it for a good amount of damage too, and it can easily scare off the enemies where they can just back off, and they don't want to be, they kind of spread themselves out, and they can get kind of out of position due to that because they don't want to get hit by your oboe. And then you can do a few things here. You can go back and sell your Golden Bow if you don't want it. You can sell it back for another item that you wanted. maybe you want haste fatales for whatever reason, or you can just keep it because it does provide you with plus 50 extra power and 8% move speed, which is huge. If you don't want to go into Oppo, this is where you can go into crit and have Titan's Bane. So that's pretty huge. Having pen and crit is really good. So you can do a few things here. You can go into Rage, and then you can still go on the bow for Deathbringer, or you can have Rage and go into Wind Demon. So Wind Demon and Rage work really well together since, you know, proccing the Wind Demon is pretty much the only good reason why you have it. The actual stats are, you know, decent. So once you do hit a critical hit, your attack speed and move speed is increased by another 20% for 5 seconds, which is huge. And what Rage does with the passive allows you to have a really high crit strike chance. Now, if you don't want this, then you could probably go into the Wind Demon first, and then go into the Deathbringer. So that way, when you do a crit, you hit really hard. Obviously, the Wind Demon would be here, and the Deathbringer you would sell the Golden Bow for the Deathbringer. So you can go to something like that, and this way you can have both. You know, you can have your lifesteal, you can have your Kins, you can have Pen, and your crit all in one build. And that's pretty much it. That's all I really wanted to cover for this video. Again, you can apply this to your other hunters if you want, and this should work just fine. I just kind of want to show this build off. So hopefully it was helpful, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.